Well, well, well. Welcome to the Architects of Fate streaming extravaganza. That's right. You found the self-proclaimed original Twitch TTRPG stream that lets you shake up our world. Now pay attention because this is how it works. If you'd like to add some loops to this roller coaster ride of a show, you're gonna need fate chips. Now these magical loyalty points can be earned just by watching, following, hosting, subscribing, or just engaging with us in the chat. It's like free money, people. With your fate chips, you can use your powers as an architect to heal your favorite players, summon items that will make their adventure a lot easier, or a lot harder. You can even make players say or sing outrageously silly things. Think of those possibilities. But wait. There is more. You can also toss our unsuspecting heroes into random encounters that will leave them sweating, strategizing, and questioning their life choices. All it takes is a quick redeem command in the chat. You choose the item or action and the player you want to mess with, and we'll take it from there. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourselves for a mind-blowing spectacle of storytelling and mayhem. We've got adventure, we've got drama, and more surprises than a clown car at a kid's birthday party. So let's go!
Hello and welcome all you Architects of Fate. So glad to have you back with us again for another hopefully exciting session of Conan, Adventures in an Age Undreamed of by Modifius Entertainment, here on the self-proclaimed only TTRPG channel where you, the viewers, can control the action on your screens. So connect with us in the Twitch chat, meet us up in the Discord, let us know your faces and names, and see what kind of havoc you can create for me and my players. Speaking of me and my players, I'd like to introduce a couple of them to you, but first and most importantly, our moderator, the man behind the scenes and the one keeping us running. You don't see him, but he sees you. That would be Nat. Thank you very much every time. After that, I got a couple of great players with us tonight. The first player that we have is Zhang, the emissary from far off Kitai, the royal guardian, cousin of a bandit, and General Tiger Claw Scratcher of faces and explosive powders. After that, we have Vera, the stealthy, sneaky, stabbity doomity assassin, the one you don't see. Well, no, usually she stabs people in the face, so they do see. The one that is the last one they see. We'll go with that one. And I, am always, I'm Chance. I'm your GM for tonight. I'll be playing the part of Crom, the god who cares not for your worries. As we all know, gods laugh at the plans of men, but they might chuckle at a good pun. So, that hair is... yeah, it's crazy. I just got back from, I've been on vacation now for the last week up in Oregon, and I'm still recovering. Just got back this morning. So we just got past a pretty big session in our last pretty big section in our last couple of sessions. They had been going to this archaeology site, which was the entire destination they've been trying to get to now for months and months and months of playtime. And they got to the archaeology site. They got there. The head of the archaeology dig is like, yeah, I'll give you your box. There is absolutely nothing suspicious happening here whatsoever. Just hang out until morning and I'll give you your box and then you can leave. And so the party hung out till morning. They were given the box and they left, even ignoring the wagon that said free puppies. But you know what? That's cool. The one...
To be fair, we almost did.
You almost didn't, but you did.
Y'all wouldn't let me go for it.
So the episode title of tonight's episode, if I'm not duplicative enough, is Season 3, Episode 36. But what about Teddy? Because they left a Teddy behind, a cursed Teddy. And unlike before, this time it's not randomly reappearing in their backpacks. The last thing...
Oh no, the horror.
Oh no, the horror. The last thing there I saw through the eyes of Teddy was a heavily scarred, albino-y looking, scary sorcerer thing, which is now in Roll20. There we go. That's the one. That was the last image it had before it no longer felt the connection. Poor Teddy. However, on the plus side, they did come back out with somebody new. They came out with Suberbarus, a brand new 3-headed fluffy pet doggy named Suberbarus. Berber for
I
short.
fluffy little three-headed pet Cerberus.
Yay, Suberbarus! All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are going. You might notice that we are a few players shy tonight. It's going to be just us, so chat, we're going to need you to really wreak some havoc on us tonight. It's going to be a little more improv, a little less planned, a little less prepped than usual. We're going to go off on a tangent, a side quest, if you will. You know, this is going to be that side episode in the Buffy series where the side people's character development episode. That's what they're called. We consume souls at an alarming rate. So, you guys, the 7 of you, are now at this camp, better part of a day's ride away from the archaeology dig site. Or walk, not ride, a better part of a day's walk away from the archaeology dig site. The terrain is just absolutely rocky and rough and treacherous. But more or less, you are following an old road-ish deer trail of a road that is, for the most part, going along a river, a small feeder river. The river is flowing west, and you are flowing west along that river on a road beside the river there. The canyons have been pretty deep in several directions, the rocky valleys and crevices. The wind keeps whipping rocks around. Your footing is very loose. But nothing too crazy happened during that day of flying, a day of walking around. But here we are now, and it's nighttime. And you're all sitting around the fire, and Abertac has pulled that strange, oddly geometric triangles smashed together in every which direction artifact out of its golden chest and is holding on to it and kind of rolling it around and looking at it at different angles. To see that artifact, let's pull this one. Uh-oh. We went to campsite. Oh, but we're still here. We just have the campsite going on. Okay. Nat, we got the campfire. If you could, I don't know why the campfire is up. Okay. But Abertac is holding on to that object. It's not quite dusk, because every time you've seen it do its little pop thing was at dusk. Little pop thing, I say. And he's kind of just looking around at it. Your other companions, Thornicius and Zinnia, they're kind of sitting beside him, trying to get a good look at it too. Thornicius looks like he might want to eat it, and Zinnia is trying to figure out if it's going to sprout swords and stab somebody.
Seriously, people, should we put the dangerous artifact away?
Abertac says, "Seems fine to me. It doesn't do anything until sunset."
And still you want to play with a piece of a dead god?
Right. That's a good point. Here, you put it away. And he throws it to you. Dodge. As he throws
I am
it,
not touching that thing.
as he throws it to where Zhang used to be, along this very narrow, rickety path right beside a small, raging, small, white-capped river. You know what? Let's just to be ridiculous.
No.
Highs or lows, Zhang?
Always go high.
I agree. Unfortunately, I rolled low. It lands in the mud and splashes.
Attack, you're going to have to pick that up.
Nothing else seems to really happen, though. Just kind of gets stuck in the mud with its spiky, triangle-y angle bits.
Well, at least nothing happened. But also, yes, I'm not touching that thing.
Okay.
It's not petty. I don't want the singe of another dark god stench all over me.
All right. Well, you know who will touch it is oh damn it, I just blanked on his stupid name. Not Corin, Tiber. Thank you. Tiber Darren. Just blanked on the dang name. Tiber says, "Oh, I'll get it." And he walks over to the edge of the riverbank and picks it up out of the mud. And as he picks it up, he kind of gets a blank look in his eyes. And then just kind of stands there with one foot in the mud, holding on to it.
Sorcery check.
Roll.
I mean, I'm fairly certain he's being possessed by a dark god, but can't hurt to check.
How
Roll
you
for
doing
sorcery.
there, fella? You doing all right, bud?
No response. Just standing there, staring, one foot still in the mud, holding on to it.
Hey, champ. Gonna need you to move. Respond.
That might be 3 successes.
2 and a 10, and your sorcery is a 16 and a 2. Holy cow! You've got that's society. Sorcery is 12 and
Not my
2.
sorcery.
Okay, but still, yep, that is indeed 3 successes. So yeah, it doesn't take a genius to put 2 and 2 together. That the moment that he grabbed this thing, something happened to him. However, with 3 successes, I'll tell you, it doesn't seem like he's being possessed. It seems like he's gone.
And this is why we don't touch the piece of a dead dark god. I emphasize pointing at him emphatically.
Abertech doesn't respond. He's sitting very still, staring off towards the artifact as it was in the mud.
Thurnish,
The others.
you see this shirt?
He doesn't answer.
Way to go, Zhang. You broke reality.
I didn't. That was Abertack. Abertack decided to throw the piece of a dead god. Blame him when he wakes up.
Corin goes, "What in the flying fart knockers going on here?"
Corin! Oh, thankfully we have somebody else besides the two of us. That would have been awkward.
Yeah. Can somebody explain to me what just happened?
Sure. I don't know. There, you're caught up.
Great. That sounds just great there.
Right.
Oh, it
So
does, Super Joe Fly. It does.
It's just the three of us then.
So it's laborious and long.
Corin, Tsang and Verai moving along, abandoning their party and moving up the road.
Did you just forget your name for a second?
I did. It's posted everywhere. I still almost called myself Xenia. she's frozen in time over there.
She is frozen in time, right over there. So the three of you are standing around staring at the rest of your party as the rest of the party has just frozen.
Well, first things first, I'm going to tie Thornicius' shoelaces together.
Okay.
And while she's causing wanton mischief, Did my 3 successes perhaps give me any idea as to what may have triggered this, and possibly where we might go to find a solution for this current issue?
With 3 successes, after doing a bit of thinking and reflecting, particularly on the stories of its creation, where it came from, and some of the other aspects around it, what seems like might have happened is it took on the aspect of something when it impacted the water. It took on the aspect of water, and flowed things away. Would be the best way that you could figure out to describe it to somebody.
So their souls flowed out of their body and into the river. They're downriver now. Fuck.
Downriver doesn't so much metaphorically exist per se, just that there was a flow. It took on the aspect of flowing when it hit the water, and it took them with it when it flowed. To where that might be, or when that might be, or what that might be, not clear, but it seemed to take on some sort of aspect of flowing. You do notice that some of the pyramid-y, triangle-y shapes on it have become rounder, softer.
Should we try?
Also, note
floating
this
on
is
it?
the face of someone trying desperately not to make a horrible joke.
If we blow on it, then maybe it'll take on the visage of blowing them back? Question mark.
Cobra, my man, Cobra, you got a fire? I ain't got a fire. If I didn't know, I wouldn't
Feel
put
free to
smoke. You
blow
got a
them
fire?
for me. I'm not going to do it.
Conan, my man, I don't know what I'm doing. Come on, the 3 of us we'll just each take a side, and then we'll just give this 3-person blow. We'll all blow on it at the same time.
Yeah, you will. So, is that what everybody's doing? Gathering together, holding hands, and blowing on the sharp object?
But it's something about holding hands. That seems weird.
She can do that herself. It's fine.
Fine.
You can blow them for me.
Okay. So I guess So I'm not standing in the mud, but I'm gonna take the item out of Tiber's frozen hand,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna lightly blow into it.
As you cup it a little, tickle it from below.
I'm gonna gingerly tickle it a little bit to make sure it's not gonna like shock the hell out of me or anything.
All right.
Anything?
You blow at it, and it stays kind of softy, rounded, and spiky, and pyramid-y, and nothing seems to happen.
At least it didn't get any harder. Okay.
That face is amazing.
All right. Fire? Do we want to put fire on it?
No. No, we do not.
Okay. Well, I don't read circles and squares. Seems like a language I'm not familiar with. Other thoughts then?
Corin says, well, what if we just like shook it real hard? Think that might fix it?
Here, go ahead.
Yes, feel free to shake the piece of dead god that froze all of our friends.
Use 2 hands.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not there, Zang.
It's sarcasm.
So
It's
you're
your
saying
idea.
I shouldn't shake it?
Put this in your hands and shake hard. Shake well.
She's saying to shake. You're saying not to shake.
So the real question is, who gives the better advice of the 2 of us?
That's not important. She says shake it hard.
I'll let you hold on to that one. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea right there. I like that idea. You keep holding on to it. That's good.
Tall.
Makes no sound as you jiggle it around by your ear. Doesn't hear it. There's no rattling. Nothing's loose. It seems to be
No
one
wind,
piece.
no wind blowing through it like a conch shell or anything.
Nope.
So it dropped into the
Never
muddy
shake a
water
baby.
along it dropped into the muddy water along the path, so it's got mud on it as well as being a little wet, right?
Nope.
And you said,
It doesn't.
oh, but we're right next to like running water.
Mhm.
Zhang, should we put this in normal water?
Or go for it. I don't have any better idea.
It's either that or we just abandon our party and go back to the site and take this back to the obelisk. Or we just leave them all frozen in place, throw this in the water, and then start our new lives in somewhere else. Argos is nice this time of year, I hear.
Just remember that if the dead god finds the rest of these artifacts, we're all dead.
So I throw it deep into the water. That'll save us. Okay.
No.
I'm gonna just like firm grip, put it in the water. We'll see where that gets us. If I die, tell my.
Okay.
That's the thing. I don't love anybody. Okay, here we go.
You put it down into the water and kind of nothing. The water flows around it like exactly you would expect it to.
Okay. So pulling it back out, is it dripping with water or is it dry?
Water doesn't seem to touch it at all.
Well, Zhang, still nothing?
I'd dig around deep in my head for any sort of related sorceress material that I could. Why are you licking it?
I'm just seeing what it tasted like, I guess.
Roll another sorcery check, please.
Him or me?
I would suggest him, because his sorcery is a little better than yours is.
Yes, it is.
I rolled a 4 and a 1. So
wow,
3 successes
another
again.
3 successes. Nice.
Your sorcerer instinct tells me to stop licking it.
So, what you're kind of picking up from this is it takes 2 or more things at once to happen, and possibly triggered by force or energy or impact of some sort. Potentially powered by some sort of magic. Something magic pulls that sorcery. That pulls energy from somewhere. So it's pulling energy from something at the moment that something happens.
Corn, catch!
Do you throw it at him?
Yeah.
Okay. How hard do you throw it at him?
Just a lob.
Just a lob?
Not too hard, just a lob.
Okay. He catches it and then turns into a swirly shape.
Is he cognizant?
Nope. Just some sort of like Art Deco swirly shape is what's left of him.
Does he have bunny ears that we need to adjust into focus? I'm gonna try touching his. I'm gonna try to touch his swirly shape and see if it's like corporeal.
So Zhang, Verai and Conan just went all swirly.
Damn it!
Wait, Verai is swirly now?
Yeah, she went and touched Conan.
Great. Wonderful.
It's probably safe.
So-
It's no big deal.
I will first walk over and secure the object.
So the
artifact.
object is in the abstractishness of Corin's hands, surrounded by a spirally abstract deco art version of Corin.
Okay.
You are not likely to be able to get to the artifact without touching some floating aspect of human.
Luckily enough, I am one who works with poisonous materials and substances frequently.
All right.
I probably have a pair of tongs.
Okay. A pair of tongs, eh? Let's call this one. I don't know what I would call this one.
Would you like for me to spend a fate point?
Parry. Well, I don't pick when you spend fate points. You pick that. Discipline, craft. Guess it could be a craft.
Try alchemy.
I don't know that alchemy would be the hand-eye coordination stuff. I know you've got to be specific.
Oh, you're talking about my deck and my ability to dexterously obtain the item with tongs.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna lean towards athletics. Actually, athletics or craft would be probably the closest, I think.
Hmm.
I don't know, unless you think the different skill would make sense better. I feel like it'd be maybe a craft skill.
I would love to argue alchemy because I'm using my alchemical tools to lift the object out without disturbing it, as I would,
The problem is alchemy is an intelligence skill.
of poison or something.
It's not a coordination skill. It's an intelligence. Coordination would be parry, ranged, sailing, or agility would be stealth, melee, acrobatics. Let's go with agility and acrobatics. Let's say that. Agility, acrobatics, final offer.
I'm screwed. Hey, I'm not screwed.
Day drinking. One success. Unfortunately, the weird spirally shapy things give it an extra DC of difficulty to retrieve, and you needed 2.
I'm going to spend a point of fate.
Too late. You got to declare that before. So, Verai, Tsang, you find yourselves in a state of consciousness, standing on a staircase. A staircase made of pyramid-shaped stairs, each one pointing out at odd angles, and you're kind of stepping through them in the haphazard kind of way. The staircase goes up, or maybe it goes forward. There are other staircases around at odd, disjointed angles. The colors in here are variations of reds, silvers, and golds. There's no visible light source, but you see each other and Corin. The 3 of you see each other in this strange place that defies all knowledge of anything you could ever imagine. I need a discipline check. Basically, discipline to hold your lunch in.
Keep in mind that Verai gets a bonus for being within sight of me.
All right. Is it an extra dice at 1 momentum?
Let me find it. It is.
I do like gin. I'm a bourbon guy, though. Not a beer person, but I do like gins and bourbons and tequilas. Botanist.
Oh no, he just gets extra soak because I'm nearby.
Ah, okay. Now, if this one isn't a soak, just a discipline check to see if you basically hold your lunch. So Verai does.
I can. Oh, okay. Never mind. I was gonna say.
It's just one difficulty, one DC success.
Okay, I succeed as well.
You succeed, and let me pull up Corin's sheet and see what his discipline is. His discipline is 14, 15, 15. Oh, wow. He has a 15 dang discipline. He is very brave. He barely succeeds. You see Corin over there being like, "Bar, what is going on here?"
First time in the nether regions, huh?
Yeah, didn't expect it to be so upside down.
There is no upside
Doors.
down here. There is no upside or down.
You have the same staircase.
Yes, sort of. I mean, Corin's on a different one, but it's kind of the same staircase. Depends on how you look at it.
Can we get together?
Sure, you just walk towards each other. Staircase goes together. Yeah. So the three of you walk together. You're now beside each other.
Okay, that's better.
Yep.
No,
You're
no
not all
sign of-
standing at the same angle, like kind of like this, but you're beside each other.
No sign of Xenia, Thornicius.
None. There's just the three of you and staircases that seemingly go on forever, while also wrapping around.
And I step sideways onto his staircase.
Yeah, you're already on it.
Yeah, that fixed it.
Wonderful. So, aside from just a world of staircases, is there anything of interest in the location?
Observation, please.
Him or me?
Him. Ooh, tequila and Jaeger. I will pass
Okay.
on the Jaeger. I don't like black licorice, and I definitely don't want to drink it.
I do not do clear liquors very well.
What was the roll? Pair of tens for observation.
Yep.
And you have an 11 and a 2. All right, so 2 successes. Yeah, as you're looking around, you don't see a damn thing. But you get to thinking about this object came from the obelisk, and maybe something about the obelisk is there. And actually, you know what? Now come to think of it, off over there, that staircase, those staircases over there, those like 4 or 5 staircases over there, if I lean my head to the right, kind of look like the obelisk. To the left, they're separate staircases. But to the right, they kind of just 3D match together just enough to look like the obelisk.
And if I look to the left and adjust how I look at things and think rather hard about the campsite, do I see anything that looks sort of like the campsite?
Nope.
So you're saying all roads point to the obelisk?
I mean, it's just staircases that happen to line up in the shape that seems like the obelisk.
Well, let's get moving.
Well, I grab onto the other two. Let's head this way.
All right, you guys start climbing downstairs, up side stairs, upstairs, through
I
stairs.
want to lick it before nightfall.
I walk vertically along the sides of the stairs.
Corin again goes, "Oh, that's off-putting. That is disconcerting. That's disconcerting right there. The enemy gate's supposed to be down."
All right, Mr. Wiggins, let's go.
And you head up towards it. As you get closer, it definitively does not look like the obelisk, but you've got the point in mind that was the tip of the obelisk, the steps to get there. You're going up this staircase, and then you hop over to another staircase, go through that one for a while, rotate around to take a side staircase over, until finally you get to the point where that obelisk-y shape thing was, the very tip of it. And as you're looking around, it almost seems like there's a two-dimensional tear in the air in front of you. Like, you look this way and you see a red light emanating from darkness as you're looking this way, but you look down and there's nothing, just normal, like sky. But you look over here and it's nothing. But when you look straight down at it, there seems to be a small hole, almost like a tear in the air in front of you.
The last thing I fingered knocked me out of reality. So, Corin, you put your finger in it.
He looks at you, Zhang.
Oh, don't look at me. You seem to like following her orders as I step behind her and
I do believe I did what you told me to last time.
oh no, I'm pushing Verai into the rift.
No. Verai, are you resisting?
Nah.
Okay, so
Expected, did you?
Zhang pushes
I don't
Verai
forget.
towards the rift and does a little trip over Corin at the time of doing it. Verai, you bump into something extraordinarily sharp and firm. Not to it doesn't quite like cut into you, but like the sharpest corner of a table that you could imagine, just the pure like squared off corner, and tip forward and fall into a subliminal space. Verai goes through the crack in space and time.
Phrasing.
Doesn't come back out.
Do I hear any otherworldly screams?
Nothing
Or-
emanates but some red light.
I look into the thing. Do I see her following?
It's just the red light that emanates from it. There's not a vision beyond it.
Well, I look to Tiber. You next, or shall I go?
You're coming in after me?
I'm not going to get stuck here.
Oh, damn it. All right. Geronimo! And he steps into
Don't land on me!
Before I leave this particular section of the dimension, I call out, am I actually all alone here, or is there some higher beings being watching and laughing?
Are you actually all alone here, or is there some higher being watching and laughing?
That's one hell of an echo. Yeah, I thought so. Jump.
The three of you find yourselves lying flat on your back in a long, red, misshapen, off-centered, off-kiltered hallway. Image is in roll 20. Red lights emanate from geometric cracks in the ground. It is not symmetrical. It seems to be like it's leaning to the right, but then as you look around, it's kind of like it's leaning to the left a little bit sometimes. There appear to be doorways and passages that emanate a golden light, but you can't see anything as you look through them but the golden light. The floor itself is this obsidian black that almost seems to absorb all of the light except for the red that emanates from the cracks running throughout the floor. And this image hasn't updated in the stream yet.
I see it. That's all that matters.
Right, but I want the chat to see it too. There we go. Now we got it.
Oh, how futuristic. Just be sure to stick to the red corridor. Our friend computer hasn't given you the clearance to move on to a different color yet.
Master Control Protocol online.
Here's a thought. Corin, you're here, right? Corin, you're here? Okay.
Oh, I'm here and I don't really want to be. Oh, God. And he stands up.
Would you rather be in Stair World?
I'd rather be at home in my bed.
Wouldn't we all? Well, not your bed. Mine's better.
Fine, let's all go home to Zhang's bed. So, do we want to tie ourselves to each other with rope so we don't get lost?
As if that would work here.
I don't know. Is this the real life, or is this just fantasy?
Are you really getting caught in a landslide
Don't
here?
summon a landslide.
No escape from reality.
You really should open your eyes and then look up to the top of the hallway and see.
Yeah, there's no skies. Can't see. All right. So then let us, according to what Zhang suggested, continue down the red hallway.
You move down the red hallway. Are you taking any other particular precautions? Are you doing anything other than just walking down the hallway?
Does it look the same front as back?
Yes. Although when you look back, the curves seem to be in the opposite direction. As in, both directions that you look, they seem to be leaning to the right, even though when you look behind you, it should, geometrically speaking, be leaning to the left.
Right. No, this direction is as good as any other, I guess. Are there any offshoot hallways?
Yeah, there are several doors. Every 50 feet or so is what appears to be a door frame, but you can't see through each door, just a golden light emanating from something in the frame shape of a door. Also, when Abertak gets here, don't give him any clues about what's going on.
Oh, he's not going to be joining us
At all?
tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man.
That's okay.
So yeah, these doorways, is there any other sort of indicator on them, or is it just a black hole with a golden outline?
No, it's a golden hole with a black outline.
Oh. Hey, Verai, why don't you stick your head in one of these things? Look around.
You'd love for me to stick my head into it, wouldn't you?
I mean,
All right, fine. I'm gonna pull out the obsidian axe, and I'm gonna just poke my head into the first golden light opening. See what I can see.
Verai steps through the opening.
I stepped through. I said just stick your head in.
I said stick my head in.
Verai steps through the opening.
No, too far.
Well, like leans into it and then just goes through it.
I fell into the gap.
I see that. Can you still hear me? Can I still see her?
Nope, you neither see nor hear Verai. Do you just wait? Do you go
I mean,
through
I'll wait a good
yourself?
3-4 minutes.
Okay. Verai. You find yourself in a mountainous terrain. Looks to be almost young mountains. Snow melting, streams and rivers going down, several mountains kind of surrounding you, and you find yourself on a large flat area on the side of one of the mountains. The the sun shining so bright down upon you, the golden light shining down upon you. And you see down before you what looks to be a hundreds and hundreds of people building something, hammering things, platforms. But at this point, it's mostly just like some scaffolding and some squares.
What color is the thing?
Black.
Ah, shocked face. Anything else about the terrain? You said they're building it on the mountain in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Does this look like the mountain where we saw the god bubber?
Survival check.
Survival, don't die. Hang on a second. Let me check my
Hello.
survival. Born wild. Oh no, that's to find food and shelter. Okay then.
11 and 1.
Slash.
11. One success. With one success, and only because you spent so much time studying before, and I said I'd give you an extra momentum point for it that hasn't been used yet. This seems like it could be, except the mountains here are much larger, much jaggedier, and there's no big giant bowl crater. They're building this on the side of a mountain, not in the middle of a crater.
I was referring to the previous when we saw the god built into the mountainside, where we first found
where the
obelisk.
hand?
Yeah.
Oh no. This appears to be where they were doing the obelisk.
Oh.
Except there's
Just-
no bowl crater here, and the mountains are much larger and jaggedier.
Oh.
Like there's an entire mountain that you're standing on that wasn't there.
That shouldn't exist, yeah. Well, I guess, is there any way for me to recall whether that crater looked like an impact crater or an explosion crater?
You really wouldn't know.
Okay. Well then, this is interesting. How do I get out?
There is a golden door behind you still.
Okay, golden door.
Mhm.
I see no other golden doors or walking paths or anything like that.
Nope.
Then I will go back in through the golden door.
After a couple of minutes, Verai stumbles back through that golden door, looking a little sunburnt.
Do not go in there.
Woo!
So Zhang, that was interesting. There were it looks like a scene in time that a time much before our own. Hard what they were building, but it looked like there were people in the distance building what could have been the obelisk. We just can't. Except the terrain was all wrong. There was no crater. Just it looked like a different age. But then again, as judging as old as that thing was supposed to be, it made the terrain, the topography of the mountains would be different. You're poking your head in the next one.
I said poke, not step through.
I did poke it.
Don't blame me if you don't know how to follow orders.
Somebody should really warn about the dangers of poking without thinking it through. All right.
Bob, I need a perception check.
Oh, good.
For observation.
Something followed me through. Okay, observation. Slash roll 2d20. I'll reroll the 15. No, yeah. One.
So one success. Okay.
Yeah, what's this?
So you guys are standing there in that strange, long, misshapen, unsymmetrical, unsettling hallway with the red cracks along the floors. Golden doorways scattered throughout every so many feet.
Okay, that was useful. Another door? Or do we want to head down?
Look through the next door.
All right.
Is everybody going, or is it one person going?
Whatever. I'll go.
All right.
Bravely did.
Tsang, you gonna wait again?
No, I said I'd go, so I'll go through this time.
All right, so everybody's going through. All righty. So the three of you step through this golden archway. You find yourself in a cave. Almost identical dimensions to the hallway that you just left from, which is to say, way larger than any human could be. The architecture on it is strangely geometric and alien, although not quite so asymmetrical and misshapen as this hallway. This hallway, too, has golden archways. There's one behind you. The hallway only goes forward, and after some time you see it turns. You're not sure if it turns to the left, to the right, or both, but you see a turn in the hallway ahead. And golden doors to one side.
I shall mark on the floor the doorway that we came through.
It's the only one on the wall behind you.
We should still mark it if we're going to be.
You said, yeah, I'm still going to mark the floor as we leave the hall, the immediate vicinity, just in case.
Okay.
Head down and see if there was any sort of change in this hallway.
Are you going to poke your head into any of the golden doors here?
I'll hold off for a little bit.
All right. Suburbarus is Suburbarosen. So you walk down to the end of the hallway, and it does indeed turn to the right, 90-degree, perfect 90-degree, very sharp angles. And around the corner, there are no doorways. The hallway passes forward into darkness, although you do still see some little lines of red light emanating off into the distance. It's hard to tell a size, though, or a distance on them. I need a perception check. Zing.
Okay. I think I'm doing rather well with my rolls today.
Wow, yeah, you are. It's at 9 and 11. Is that 2 successes? 2 successes.
It's two.
You swear something moved down there, but as you look deeper, there's nothing but darkness.
Verai, get your knives prepared just in case. Good. Let's head down that way and check it out.
You're heading towards the darkness.
There's nowhere else to go.
I mean, there's a bunch of golden doors. As you head towards the darkness and get closer to where the light seems to just end,
I cast magic missile.
I attack the darkness. The light seems to end here. What light was emanating from those golden doors is now gone, and the only lights you have are the strange red lines and dots appearing scattered throughout the walls, the ceilings, the floor. Even the very surface of the area that you're in does not seem to be reflecting, but rather absorbing the light, muting almost all visibility down to very, very little once you hit the darkness. You should be able to see, and it feels like your eyes are closed, but you know that your eyes are open. It's like you're asleep and you're trying to open your eyes and you're asleep because you don't realize that you're asleep and can't, but you're trying to.
Turn around. Do I still see the hallway that I came from?
Yes.
Okay.
Teddy was a Teddy, a haunted, cursed Teddy. But they left Teddy behind. But thanks to some lovely chat people, they left with a Suberberus puppy.
Teddy also wandered off on his own. Teddy's his own Teddy, so we didn't leave him behind. He chose to go.
Right. They left without being in possession of Teddy after seeing a scarred acolyte through Teddy's eyes.
Nobody stab anybody, so we left without stabbing somebody.
Oh no, the horror. You had to go a full day without stabbing someone.
It's torture.
He's an independent Teddy. He don't need no assassin. So you're standing there in the darkness.
I continue to walk into the darkness.
All right. You continue walking into the darkness. Verai, he disappears into the darkness
Actually,
in
with
front
my
of you.
hand out in front of me.
Verai, he disappears into the darkness in front of you. You see lights blinking out like somebody's walking in front of them. I'm assuming you continue with him.
Okay, so there's a door behind us. There's just darkness in front of us.
There's a hallway with a corner behind you.
Oh, okay. Do we? I mean, I don't want to lose him, so get back here.
You hear him say,
Come
"Get back
up.
here."
I'm gonna come up behind him.
Okay. You hear Verai hustling up behind you saying, "Get back here."
Okay. How about not Timer.
Or Corin. He's there with you.
Corin.
He's there too.
Okay.
Looking very nervous.
Corin on the cob.
Heh, heh, heh. Nobody did check, Joe. Nobody did.
Okay, so we're in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling in front of us.
Do you continue forward?
I mean, yeah.
All right. As you continue forward,
Have we
let's see if
tried
I still have
striking
this.
a torch?
No. Nobody's tried.
Should our alchemist try striking a torch?
I'm not sure I have a torch.
You got nothing that you can explode into a torch?
I mean, I could light your hair on fire.
A
Well,
traveler survival kit
won't
would
break-
have at the very least a candle lamp. But no, I don't think you have anything that would give me like a torch there or a light there, Zhang. I mean, you could make a poof of light, but not like a continuous light.
Yeah. Nope.
Verai does, though. Verai's got a candle.
Not that I want
Please tell me it's not the black flame kind.
No, because it's not written down in his inventory.
It's just a candle as part of a pack.
Yeah.
Here, let's dust this thing off. It's been sitting in my bag for,
3
a while.
years.
When I light my stick.
Okay, you light up the candle. You can see each other's faces, but that candle doesn't even seem to extend all the way down to your feet. You can barely even see the silhouettes of your feet in the candlelight, the flickering, unstable candlelight.
Bring it up to the wall.
The candle burns very red, though.
At least it's not fizzing. So, yeah, can you feel a wall?
There is a wall. There's even red lights on it.
Okay, well, let's get it up close to the wall then.
The same red color as the candle, which is odd.
We're not in reality. It doesn't, nothing shocks me
Yeah.
anymore. Okay. Wall black is my soul. Okay. I'm gonna hold it down to the floor and tap on the floor. And what's the material on the floor? Same as the wall?
Yeah, same as the wall, an extraordinarily hard metal of something, maybe a stone metal combination?
It looks not natural, right?
It looks not natural.
That's what I thought. Okay. Do we continue on into the darkness of doom, or do we go somewhere, find another door?
I say we continue on.
Okay. I'm
You
just throwing it out
continue-
there that I advocate for going back and finding another door that's not so much filled with darkness. But you want to continue forward? We will continue forward. No point in splitting the party yet.
You continue
Again.
forward into the darkness. As you move forward into the darkness, you see a light in front of you, like a natural, semi-natural room light in front of you. People moving.
I stand cautiously.
Uh,
I'm going to put out the candle.
okay.
Save it for when it's needed if we can see ahead of us.
Do you go
Are they
into the room?
talking? Can I hear them before we enter?
You don't
Are they
hear
saying
anything.
anything, or they're just wandering about?
You don't
Okay.
hear anything.
Do we?
But there does seem to be 2 people in a room talking animatedly.
Can we see if they're walking past, or we just see shapes?
Well, it's still a ways up in front of you. I'm giving you a chance if there was something you wanted to do before getting to said room.
I want to approach it stealthily, but aside from that,
Stealthy.
Okay. As you get closer, it doesn't seem to be 2 people. It seems to be 4 people, 5 people. Only one of them is actually moving around and talking. The others seem to be part of the wall. The color patterns are wrong. The shapes are wrong. The strange geometric shape in here almost seems to be infecting that very room. As you get closer, you see the one that is moving around and talking is wearing long black, almost blood red robes and a pointed hat. And
red robes. That's not boy. So
looks kind of like that. Little less abstract. That's the closest I could get. It's not quite this abstract, but something like that is what you're seeing.
Freddy Krueger meets Gandalf. Okay.
yeah, see it.
On roll 20.
Yeah. Freddy Krueger versus Gandalf, or plus Gandalf. Yeah.
Is his name Crandolph?
No, it's Frandolph. Frandolph Booger.
The red, of course.
So if we're gonna be up towards the door just to try to hear what they're saying.
You hear nothing.
Let me guess. You want me to go in? No, you go in. You're the diplomat. If he goes to stab you, I'll be right behind you.
I'd prefer you be right behind him.
I'll see what I can do. Get him away from the door, and I'll get behind him.
I'll step in.
You step in from the hallway with no light into a room with no sound. The figure continues to appear to be animatedly discussing, angrily even at times, with the shapes and faces in the walls and the geometric patterns. Does not seem to notice your entry.
Interesting. The shapes that he's talking to, do they seem to reply back to him in any way?
Yes.
Are they moving?
There is a conversation back and forth between the heads and him, between the heads and the other heads. There seems to be a very animated conversation going on in here.
See. Do they react to my presence at all?
No acknowledgement whatsoever.
I step in front of him, or at least well within his sight.
Nothing. He continues to be pantomiming with.
I call out to Verai to see if she can hear me.
Yeah, Verai. You hear him say, "Hey, Verai."
Come in here and tap this guy on the shoulder.
Oh, I thought Verai was already in the room.
I was still hiding in.
Okay, no, then Verai does not hear you.
Okay. Well, I don't see him anymore either.
Yeah, you see him in the room. He's like standing in front of the scary sorcerer dude.
And I can see that the scary sorcerer guy doesn't even appear to acknowledge his presence.
Correct.
Is the sorcerer guy
dude?
Is he looking in my direction towards the door, or is he looking away?
The sorcerer's guy back is to you.
Okay. Well, that's what I was looking for. So I will make my way room towards the back of the sorcerer. because that's
Okay.
where Tsang asked me to be.
So, aside from the robes, does he have any accoutrement, anything of interest on his person?
He is carrying a staff with a gruesome skull on it. He has other not bone, but more like petrified or what's the thing? Taxidermied pieces of living things.
Once living things.
I'm gonna sheath the obsidian axe and pull out Doomslayer,
Mm-hmm.
who's going to mysteriously look a lot like my obsidian axe because I don't have any other props.
Okay.
Um,
Verai looks at you questioningly.
I leave the room and leave him to his work.
When you leave the room,
Or her.
there is the entrance that you came in on, but there is also just a door on the side wall, just a regular old, in this case, kind of a tealish, triangle-y door. But there is a door. It's got a door handle.
I will test that.
Okay, the door opens. There is a golden light.
I'm watching.
It's the first time, though, that there was a door in front of it. The heads on the wall shift towards you as you open the door, though. They seem to be continuing to have their argument. Their pace of pantomiming has not changed. But now they're turned and facing at you as they're pantomiming instead of facing at each other.
How about the
Still facing him
sorcerer
in the
looking
wall.
guy? No reaction to their turning?
No reaction to their turning.
No reaction to Verai's sword in his back?
No
The
reaction.
guy yet.
Yet.
I'll hold my sword out and full ready to swing. I'm gonna just kind of reach out and try to touch the guy on the shoulder.
You touch him on the shoulder. Feels like a wool robe of some sort.
I will call out to Verai to see if he can hear me now.
He can.
I can.
Before you do that, would you mind grabbing
Corin.
not Tiber.
You can just
Tiber?
wave at Corin.
Corin.
Corn?
Corin comes
I'll
in
wave
the room.
Corin into the room. I think we're going to take this door.
All right. That makes sense. It's the only other option we got here.
Yep. I think Verai wants to do her thing
Okay.
before she goes.
I don't have
but I
any
think
real
she'd be
reason
good
other
to-
than I just want to see if he can actually acknowledge our presence if he can't see us, right? Doesn't appear to be if I am tapping his shoulder and kind of like giving him a little bit of a shake, and if he's not acknowledging,
He's not.
can I try to pickpocket him?
Sure, roll a thievery.
But must have did.
Your
Thievery is
thievery
12.
is a 12 and 2.
And I have the ability to reroll one of those, so slash.
10 and a 3, so 2 successes.
Successes.
Yeah, you pickpocket something out of it, but by the time your hand leaves the pocket, there's nothing in your hand again.
What did the thing in his pocket feel like? What did I feel like I was grabbing? Don't say balls.
Warm, firm.
Sure, it was. Okay.
Brown.
Say throbbing. Please don't say throbbing.
It's just not still in my hand, so that's good for him. There's no point in stabbing him if I can't get anything from him and he's not even acknowledging our presence. So I'm gonna like the faces and things on the walls looked at Zhang as he entering in, right?
Yes, staring intently. It's not as he entered, as
I
he
opened
opened
the new
the
door.
exit door.
Opened the door. So Zhang, is Zhang still there, or is he gone?
Yeah, he's still there. He hasn't
I
come
haven't
through.
left.
Okay, so you see these things are looking at you, even though they're having their conversation. Can you get any of their attention?
I can't hear them to have a conversation with them anyway. I'm just as soon going to head through the door.
Walk back and forth, see if their eyes are following you. Even if you can't understand them, you can at least see if they see you.
Oh, that is fair. Are they looking at me or the door as I walk back and forth?
They are looking at you, dead set, never blinking, but they don't change their pantomime discussion with each other.
Hmm.
What about this guy? If they can see you now that you've opened that door, can he see you now that you've opened the door?
I'm fairly certain I asked that earlier, and the answer was no.
He did not move or look at anything else when Zhang opened the door. There was no acknowledgement of change.
Okay. So.
Can I pick up one of the skulls?
Yeah, you grab it, but by the time you pull your hand away from it, it's back where it was.
Okay. I'm just going to head through the door.
Okay.
That's best. Let's just go ahead and head to the door.
Okay. You go through the door together. As you go through the door together, you find yourself in another small chamber. Looks like a sacrificial altar. It's a blood-stained altar in the middle. Lying on that blood-stained altar is a small body of a person, of a child. Standing over it is that same sorcerer that you just saw in the last room, and an albino, scarred, rings, tattoos. Looks pretty familiar, but only to Bob.
I recognize. I know when I see one. So can we hear him?
Yes, but it is in a language that you do not understand.
Is he acknowledging
What
us?
language?
It sounds like Stygian, but it is not Stygian.
Is he acknowledging us?
Yes, they seem to be like beckoning you over. Bring the next one, they say in a language that you do understand.
Well,
Then there's a child standing between you two, chained.
Oh, he thinks I'm going to give him a sacrifice. Okay. All right.
Come on.
Clean master. I'm going to pick up the chain and kind of like bring the child in along behind me. How many of them are there?
Just the two of them.
Okay. The albino and who? What's the other person?
That same sorcerer you just saw in the last room. With the skulls and the body parts.
Okay. Zhang, are you coming with?
Provided you're going to be you.
Might need some assistance.
Oh, Warren, care to join us in sacrificing a child?
That don't make me feel comfortable at all. And then the old one again says, "Well, get over here, or I'll have you put to the table next."
Coming master.
So the three of you drag this child. Child starts screaming and crying and kicking, flailing, trying to get away. I need a athletics check to hold on to the child.
Athletics. Alrighty. So athletics.
Oh no, the child escaped my grasp.
Do you intentionally fail the athletics check?
I do.
Verai?
El Supreme.
Me.
Oh, this one is squirmy.
Nope. Kid's coming along for now.
The kid is coming along. Okay.
So I have actually 3 successes.
3 successes? You have a 15 on athletics?
No, but so strong back for any athletics test that generates at least one success.
Well, that's
Generate
nice.
one additional success for each rank of strong back.
That's nice. Okay. So with 3 successes, you hold on just fine to the child as Zhang goes, oops, I dropped him. And then the kid is like trying to just pull away at you and clawing at your hand and trying to scratch you and get away from you as you continue to drag this child towards the sacrificial table.
I am going to be bringing this child up to these 2 figures.
And here I had hoped that one of them would come harass us alone. Oh well.
Why don't you and Corin address our wizard-looking fellow, and I will take this child to this albino.
They're standing beside each other, both in front of the altar.
Well, that's perfectly fine. I'm telling him which one to address, and which one I will address.
Yes.
So the 3 of you go up to the altar. That child has now giving up fighting and is just crying in terror, begging, please, please don't, please let me go, please.
So I'm going to stop a few feet shy of the altar and await instructions.
Place the child on the table. God,
Remind me, who
these minions.
who are you sacrificing them to?
To power.
Yes, power, but I mean, name said power.
He just looks disgusted at you.
My lord, how do I get them on the altar?
He pulls out a little wooden club. I'll do it myself.
Which one of them is saying this?
The old one.
Okay, so not the albino.
Hmm.
Okay. Which so is he the old one with the club going to come at us then?
Yes.
All right.
By all means, I step aside and let him pass in front of me.
Okay. So for the child.
He is rearing back to swing and hit the child in the head.
Okay. That's when I'm going to strike.
Okay.
So before you do that, can I just try clawing his throat out from behind him?
I mean, you can make an attack roll.
I would like to.
I don't really care what order you do it.
Yeah, but
I don't think I made that one.
What?
No, I did not.
Okay. Zhang withdraws his tiger claw gloves out and goes for a reach around strike, but just kind of whiffs through the guy.
well, as he's as he's winding up to take a shot at the kid, and as he's figuring out why somebody's kitty pawing at his neck, I'm going to take the momentum to toss the kid aside, bring Doom's full swing, aim like just right at his chest, just center mass, just slash at him, spending a point of fortune because I want to put some oomph into this strike.
Roll me a melee attack.
All right, what is my melee? Making momentum spent points. Momentum spent points. Okay, so I don't know what I'm doing with my. Okay, so with that, I'm spending. I still have 2d and a crit success, right?
Yeah, unless you've got something that adds to your melee attack count.
I'm trying to figure that out. Hang on a second here. Melee. When making a melee attack, momentum spent or points added to Doom to add bonus 1d20 to melee test instead adds 2d20.
Well, there you go. You could give yourself 2d20 by giving me Doom.
Yeah, but I don't think you need to at this point.
It says momentum spent or points added to Doom.
Well, you don't have any momentum.
Okay, that's right. So no, I'm just using a point of
Okay. So you've got a 1 and 2 dice. A 10 and a 17.
So the 10 is a
10 is a hit.
yes.
So 3 successes. Roll damage, just to see.
Oh, I have to remember how to combat. Doomslayer.
7 dice 6
Yeah.
with vicious 1, intense 1.
Yep. All right. Slash 76. I can do.
Yes, you can. Although you swing deep, and then you find yourself at the entrance to a room. The 3 of you. There's a child between you. 2 figures are standing up on a bloody altar with the body of one already. An acolyte and a sorcerer. He looks over to you. Well, what are you waiting for? Bring the child.
No. Get him yourself. What do you think this is?
You have one opportunity to obey. I will not repeat again.
I'm going to step in front of the child and opportunity to explain whatever this is. And where's my teddy? And I'm looking at the albino.
You do notice the albino be like, what? And pats his bag. The sorcerer, however, waves his stick around, and some shadowy, human-shaped creatures that look oddly familiar to the very ones that you saw infesting the camp the other night during the lightning bolts step out from the walls. Oh my.
Well, they're stepping out, so old man, what are you sacrificing children for? And power. Crazy
For power.
Crazy people that they're sacrificing children for power.
And then he points his bony finger. Slay. And the shadows converge upon you.
Coward, 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 coward. Only bony old cowards figures to do their bidding for.
Are you going to roll a parry? They have 2 successes to hit you.
Which you?
Bob.
Yep. Nimble as a cat.
Okay.
Nimble as a cat. I get to use my acrobatics. Wait.
You can use acrobatics instead of parry for a defensive action.
Pantherish twist is what I meant. Use acrobatics instead of parry when attempting to defend.
Roll acrobatics.
Which is higher than my parry. Yep. Okay. Where's my? I'll be there. Slash. Three successes.
3 successes is definitely more.
Right. Two. Sorry. Fair is fair.
Well, 2 successes. You reduced their successes by 2. They had 2 successes, which brings them to 0 successes. With the quickest of twists and dives out of the way, you barely scrape out of range of their monstrous shadowy claws, leaving huge gashes along your robe. As several of them pounce you at the same time, and you are able to just barely evade their blows.
Return fire.
And then you find yourself at the entrance to the room. There's a child between you, screaming. 2 men at the top, 1 acolyte, 1 sorcerer, on top of a bloody altar, with the body of another child still bloody and warm. Bring the child.
Is there any other entrance to this particular room?
On the far side, there appears to be another passage, but time out. Okay.
Are there gashes in my robe?
Yes.
So I thought. Okay. With that, I am going to full spread the albino acolyte and then just Superman slash screaming, "Where's my teddy?" As I bring Doomslayer down.
Roll an attack roll.
He really wants this nightgown.
Okay. So
Is it a lacy teddy?
Where's my teddy? Slash. All right, melee. It's been a minute. Making a melee attack when spent. Okay, no. 1 success.
With a quick flick of his wrist, a force of energy, of dark black and red energy erupts out of his wrist, knocking you aside effortlessly like he was swatting away a fly, slamming you against one of the walls. With a second flick by the sorcerer instead of the acolyte, shadow monster creatures begin to disgorge from the walls.
Ow.
There is probably some lace involved. It's a lacy teddy.
Zhang, are you doing anything?
I'm watching the show. It's quite fun.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. Am I getting up or am I still on the ground when those things do an action?
That's on you. They disgorge. They came out from the walls.
Okay. Well, how far away from them am I? If I get up with Doomslayer, am I able to get another attack?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Second attempt, charging at Albino Jeff here.
Okay.
Screaming, "I want my teddy. Give me my teddy."
Roll an attack roll.
Okay. Gosh. Oops. Well, that's not right.
Ooh.
One success. Yeah, one success. I have a feeling I'm going to be flying again.
With a second flick of his wrist, he sends you slamming and careening back into the walls at the feet of the shadow monsters, who then swing at you with their sharpened claws. Whoops, not. Oh, wait, that was my. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hit 6 hits. Six die successful hits. Would you like to attempt to parry 6?
Well, I'm thinking. What do I do? I'm probably gonna have to try, right? Oh no, wait. I could only parry one of those 6, right?
Well, so it's a mob attack. So all of their attacks are like merged together into a that way. Instead of rolling 2 die 20 5 times, I rolled 5 die 20 once.
Yeah. So let me see here. Acrobatics. Acrobatics test. Chest of leap. One step.
And not in the good way either, Evney.
Is Pantherish Twist considered a jump or a leap? Asking for a friend.
Pantherish Twist may use acrobatics instead of parry when attempting a defend reaction. When using acrobatics test to jump or leap. So that would be so jumping something is usually an athletics check. That means you can use acrobatics instead of athletics to jump something, or when you're falling, you can use Panther's Twist to reduce the falling damage that you take.
I understand that, but I'm asking if Pantherish is considered a jump.
No, I mean, there would be, there potentially could be hopping or something within it, but it isn't like a distance covering jump specifically.
Okay, because I'm looking at nimble as a cat.
Right.
So when using, like a jump or a
Would
leap.
not apply.
Okay,
But I appreciate the creativity.
Just looking. Well, good. I'm gonna go down swinging. I will try to do a Pantherish Twist.
Okay.
And since I'm trying to get out of a mob, I'm gonna. I don't know. Not even Burning Fortune is gonna save me out of this one. Nope. I'm just gonna do it the Pantherish Twist.
Okay, roll it.
Yeah. Slash.
Not even close.
Yeah. Well, obviously, 2 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage, none of them being effects. Damn it!
Nice.
They claw and scratch at you for 4 points of damage, shredding up some more of your robe.
And while Verai is distracting them, I'm going to head over to the other door.
Okay. Are you just walking over and being like, I'm doing my own thing here?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Verai,
Come
your
on,
turn.
Thorn, let's go.
Don't mind me. I've got this. So I have to fight off this mob. That's the only.
You are now surrounded by half a dozen shadow monsters.
Yep. Okay. Shadow monsters it is. Attack. Right. So I'm gonna go full on crazy cat lady with my Swing and Doomslayer, burn a point of fortune, and just sorry, because I can't really hit those notes. Like swinging in a essentially a like a spin around on my heel, try and catch any of them within just full
You're going
on.
for a Beyblade spin.
Huh?
You're going for a Beyblade spin.
Zzz! Trying anything that's close. See what you do. All right. Melee 2/. And then the melee, I can do nothing else. Oh, Deft Blade. What am I making? Okay, so no momentum. Enable one. Making insight. Making tag. Roll dice damage. Okay. I'm ready.
Whiff! You go all Beyblading around, and they barely even step away from you as you throw yourself practically off-centered.
Say that he spends a point of fortune.
Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
did say fortune. So you do have 2 successes. They barely even step out of your way as you're like swinging wildly in circles, whiffing madly. Unfortunately for them, their parry is a 12, not a 13, so that's only 1 success down. So you do indeed get a success to hit as you trip over your own feet practically on a downward swing, striking into one. Roll for damage.
Okay. 76. Nope.
And you find yourself at the entrance to the room. There's a child between you, crying and screaming. 2 figures, an albino and a dark one in a robe and a pointed hat at the top. A body of a child on the bloody altar already.
Where's Tsang?
Oh, shall we go?
Right beside you, holding on to a screaming child.
Tsang, you think we can make that door?
Yeah, so long as we don't just bolt for it.
All right. You bolt for it. I'm getting Teddy back.
Okay, damn it. Just let us through the door before you bring yourself to an eternal hell of repeating nonsense.
The Chinese have many hells.
I'll distract him. Make for the door. Okay. Drop the chain. Doomslayer. Running an albino. Hopefully Tsang is running for that door.
Zhang, are you running for the door?
Yup.
Okay.
Corin, are you running?
Corin, you're behind me?
Corin's running right behind you.
Him, not me. Him. Give me
We can leave.
Teddy.
Roll.
We can leave Verai to her insanity.
I'm having
Roll
fun.
your attack roll.
Okay. All right. See if you can make that door before we reset the world. /
Well, since we get to choose which order we go in.
Yep.
You're not making it through the door in a single action.
It's getting worse.
It's like I don't have to worry about not making it through the door in a single action.
It's getting worse. It's getting
You
so
drop the chains, draw your weapon, run towards the acolyte. You make it halfway up the steps before slipping, tripping, landing and hitting your head, slipping and tripping on the blood that is draining from the table, before landing and hitting your head on the corner, only to be tossed once more into the far wall by the acolyte with a flick of his violent wrist.
Ow. 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 Ow.
The sorcerer waves his staff and shadows begin to disgorge from the walls.
Ow. Did he make it?
At the end of 2 actions, Zhang and Corin go through the door.
Okay, so they went through the door. I'm jumping up with Doomslayer, heading straight for the door, towards the door, shouting, "Love you, Teddy. Come with. Gotta go. Bye." get in this one turn, right? But at least I'm.
I'll give them an attack of opportunity on your way out. Which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Not even. I mean, there's no
Just
point in even
soaking it?
trying. Yeah, there's no point in even trying Pantherish Twist. I can't beat 5 hits.
1 point of damage with 1 effect. It does go through any armor soak that you have. You have now taken 5 points of damage, but you have an effect now. You don't know what it is, though.
Is it that I can't leave this room? Because that would
You make it through the door.
so fitting. Okay, I make it through the door.
The three of you find yourself in a well-acquainted sitting room. Maps, books, a globe, even. Looks rather familiar. Out one stained glass window is a garden. Could use a little bit of work, full of vines and thorns. This is the Darren house.
Did the child come with?
No.
Damn.
This is the Darren house. You set here not too long ago, looking at maps to figure out how to get to the archaeological dig site. Standing frozen in time is Tiber's father, Darren Sr., Tiber's older brother, Darren Jr., Vasily, the high priest, and behind Vasily, as almost an image of a shadow the others don't seem to be looking at, is a shadow of a sorceress figure. Long pointed hat. Dark robes fading down into nothingness like a ghost, with its hands on Vasily's shoulders. The room is perfectly still, a frozen moment in time.
Are there other doors?
What's on the maps? Specifically, the location of the artifacts and whatnot.
On the map, oh damn it, what was the name of the town? I can't remember the name of that other town. On the map, there are 2 places that are circled. One is this archaeological site where you just came from, and the other is that town to the south that you had bypassed. I want to say it was Shar, but it's not right.
I think it began with a C.
Gart.
I don't think it was Shar.
Tumir? Shem?
Gunderland, Western Mark, Bostonian. I didn't write it down. I've got it on my other map. I just don't have it on this map. It's fine. Sure.
It's in Handwave Town.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Ah, that town. I wonder what was in there.
I mean, you have heard some rumors about the town.
Is that the one where all of the children have been disappearing from?
Nope. That was up in the mountains.
I wasn't there for that
by
one.
the archaeological dig site. That was the town where people were having really bad dreams and earthquakes.
Ah, right.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
On the table, there are 6 figurines. One of the figurines has a bow. One of the figurines is in a robe. One of the figurines has a pair of swords. One of the figurines is in an ornate suit of golden and green armor. One of the figurines has a hammer. And one of the figurines has the Darren family crest.
Okay. We're all wondering the same thing.
Sorry, not 6 figurines. 5. Let's see, 7, 6, 5, 4. 4 figurines. One of them has a bow. One of them has pair-crossed swords. One of them has a hammer. And one of them has the Darren family crest.
So okay, so not you said not me with the robe.
No robe, no
Or
fancy
me.
armor.
Okay. We're all thinking.
Because we
I'm
don't
gonna ask you.
exist right now on that map.
We're all thinking it, so I'm gonna ask it. Can I tie Tiber Darren's father's shoes together?
Nothing moves.
Damn.
You try to move his shoelaces, and they don't move.
No way of them knowing that I was here. Okay. So we're not Zhang. If we're not on that board, and our compatriots are, could we try breaking those figurines?
So I'm going to try to explain this as simply as possible.
Shart.
We are not in reality. These aren't actually Fiber's father
Oh, the
or
reality.
Vasily. Like, this is just an image that the artifact that the piece of dead god is showing us, either to fuck with us or because unfathomable reasons beyond our comprehension. Regardless,
Oh, I made a mistake. There are 3 places circled. The 3rd place is in the mountains to the south near the border to Koth.
was that perhaps roughly where we were when we found the first artifact?
No. It would have been like a week or 2 travel south of the hunting lodge. So towards the
Interesting.
border with Koth in the mountain pass. I forgot about that one. So 3 places were circled.
But yes.
Yeah.
The best thing that we can do is observe, see what it's trying to show us, and then move on. So, in that vein, I look for another door that I could possibly open and go through.
Well, I mean, the Darren household, there were 3 main exits from this room because it kind of was just a sitting room on the side of the Great Hall. So there was an exit to the back that led to a personal lounge. There was the exit to the side that led to the kitchens, and then there was the big double front doors that led outside.
Go through the big double doors that led outside.
Bob?
With him.
You are with him? Corin doesn't. He's still staring at the figurines. He's like, this is weird. This is wrong. There are 7 of us, not 6. They knew about 6.
Yeah.
I didn't know about you.
Right. But why is there 4? Should be 6.
I thought the same thing. That's why I was gonna try breaking them. Because when we left reality, we were like our compatriots were frozen in time. I figured if we were actually transported, but they were just frozen in time, these were just embodiments of them in this illusion. But if we, I'm fully on board to just trying to, see the visions and moving on and trying to find an actual way out. I'm grasping at all straws. Does not matter. We're not in reality, so everything is fun. We can. Corin, did you want to break them? What do you want to do, Corin? Are you coming with?
I don't know. I feel weird leaving them behind.
do you want to try taking them? Because everything else we've tried taking ends up right back where you tried to get it from.
Well, that's not true. This time it just didn't move at all.
Well, does it move?
Does what move?
If we can't move anything, then I mean, we're gonna have to leave it behind
I mean,
regardless,
the only thing
right?
it tried to move was shoelaces.
Well, what I'm saying is, if Gordon feels bad about leaving the figurines behind, he can try grabbing the figurines.
That okay? Can I do that?
I'm
He tried stabbing people in the last room. Do whatever you want.
do you,
You're free to do it.
Corin, do you want me to pick it up? Are you afraid of being thrown against the wall by an evil entity?
A little bit, yeah.
Sucker. Okay, fine.
You're still nursing your
Just-
bloody wounds.
Yeah, I'm in pain. So I'm gonna walk up to it, and to prove a point, I'm gonna try to pick up the Thor. I'm gonna grab the Abertac because I'm gonna grab the Abertac just to try to prove this point.
It picks up. Tastes like
Stop
marble?
licking my husband.
Tastes like marble?
What do I what? Do, okay. Next question. So let's go ahead of them now. Okay.
Okay, you pick up the 4 figurines.
Now,
And you pick up the map.
can we?
Map doesn't move.
Corn? No. Okay. Next question. Do we just take these with us, or do we try breaking to release a magic spell?
Let's take them with us.
Okay, fine.
Now what?
I'm gonna put them in my. I'm gonna keep them in my hand for now. One hand, right? I got them all bundled up in here.
Yep.
If I put them in a satchel or something, they may just disappear. I want to be readily evident when we walk through this next door
Makes
whether or
sense
not
to
they're
me.
staying in my hand.
Makes sense to me.
As good old-fashioned Doomslayer hunched over the shoulder. All right, I'm ready to walk through a door. Good call, Corin.
You go through the big double door exits of
Yep.
the Grand Hall. You
Yep.
throw the big double door exits of the Grand Hall, and there is a golden door with red cracks scattered through the light.
Diplomats first.
Follow me. I lead the way through the crackling doorway.
The 3 of you walk through the crackling doorway carrying the 4 figurines. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to pick up next in 2 weeks for our next session of Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed of. But that's not all. We've got plenty of shows for you between now and then. I know we always do Conan now on every other week. But we have lots of shows between now and our next Conan, including but not limited to our Dungeons and Dragons Netherdeep campaign, of which I'm a star, I must say, right here, Al Payne. Yep. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, Call of the Netherdeep, episode 26, The Rumble at the Dome. In the last episode, the Banditos turned in their first mission to the Allegiance of Allsight and got a tertiary education into the strange red crystals that they had encountered. A few minutes with clerics in Boltar and Aldane had the early stages of iridium poisoning cleared. Now, after a feast at Prolix's, the Banditos move towards their next objective, finding an alternate entrance into the underwater city of Kael'Moro. Thursday, no broadcast. We're doing an off-screen session 0 to get ready for an upcoming campaign of the Echoes of Avalona. Avalana. Friday the 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern, Cookie Trek, having some work done. Join us for a Star Trek story crafted by Rufus the Robot and Simon the Cat that must contain the following classic Star Trek story elements: surgically assisted disguise, someone below commander rank takes temporary command, and current when filmed pulp culture cited as an old classic. So show up, help make up a story, and start the weekend off on a high note. And Sunday, the 19th, 8 p.m., is another session of Off the Rails where we get together and get to tell you all sorts of things and have a good session. We go off the rails there. Just about nothing is off limits. And we're going to have some guest stars, but I'm not going to tell you who. So check it out. Stay tuned. Come see who it is. We're about to get, I think we're going to get a raid going. Yep, we got a raid going. And with that, guys, get into the raid. Be cool. Show some love to an indie streamer. And, don't be a dick. So, we love you. Good night.
Thanks a lot. Have a good one.